What's the word, everybody? Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Today, we're going to talk about wrestling and how it's a big part of my life and why I love wrestling. You know, I made this channel to make it cool again, to make wrestling cool again, respectable, and for everybody to talk about it in the streets. You know, I want to take back to where people would wrestle in the streets. We'll do moves and shit everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we got good now is the RKOs. But anyways, me, as a light-skinned dude like me, I grew up watching cartoons, you know, TV comedy shows, My Wife for Kids, The Bernie Mac, fucking That 70 shows, a lot of good shows, and wrestling, right? I watched some football here and there, right? 2013 through 2015 was the most goofiest, worst years of my time in school, right? It was the most weird times in school, right? Weird shit, right? One time, my mother, she brought tickets for me and my brother to go to Raw in 2013, right? It was in Buffalo, right? It was the road to WrestleMania 2019. A lot of stars were still there. You know, we had fucking Big Show was still there. Kane. The Rock was champion. Undertaker was still wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Triple H was still there, but he was part-time. But anyways, a lot of shit there too, right? It's road to WrestleMania 29, right? I heard that John Cena and The Rock was going to be there, right? Because I know they were doing movies, right? And I've seen Cena in the Freddy movie, right? I know Cena was a good actor. I knew he was wrestling, but I didn't get into wrestling until I got those tickets, right? Then I started watching wrestling, right? I was like, oh shit, that was cool, man. So I got into it and shit. They were fighting, so I'm like, oh shit, what the hell? Good shit, right? One day, I had a bad day in school, right? I put on an episode of SmackDown. This is where Mark Henry and Ryback were doing the weight challenge, and Booker T, the general manager. I really liked this. Booker T was general manager. We had Teddy Long, Jerry the King Lawler. We had JBL on an announce table, you know. It was really a good time, you know, until they left. And I ain't like this shit after, right? It was two big guys fighting, right? It's like in a bar, right? You see two big guys arguing, right? Drunk as hell, throwing shit at each other and just slamming each other through the tables and shit. It was like this, right? But now, you know, it's a bunch of jobbers like Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, making it seem like the big stars, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? Ryback was a big ass motherfucker, but he wasn't as powerful like Brock Lesnar. Ryback, they'll kill him in seconds, you know? Like, Ryback would beat the shit out of guys like Cody Rhodes and fucking Kevin Owens and CM Punk in seconds. You know what I'm saying? And for you neckbeards to assume CM Punk would beat Ryback ass, you're dumb. You know? Anyways, wrestling, music, and certain fucking TV shows have been a very important life to me. It's been very important to me, you know? This made me more confident in myself, not giving a fuck what nobody say, and just being happy, you know? And not worrying about what happened to me in the past, right? All the past trauma, right? I love wrestling, you know? I made a channel because of it. Like I said again, I made it to make it respectful and for everybody to talk about it again. And so we can switch this shit around, you know? I named myself the realist because I believe in what's right, and I believe W can change around if Triple H isn't selfish. He believes in stars. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling the bullshit out for what it is, and I don't care about nobody think or say. I still get angry at these things, right? Because Triple H doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And people think I give a fuck, and they always got something to say about me. I still get mad at these things, and I just get humble every fucking day. You know. Wrestling has bad storylines. There are too long and repeated matches storylines, like the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan match, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, for example. Cody Rhodes versus Roman. Everybody's teasing for Cody versus Roman again at WrestleMania. Nobody's gonna watch WrestleMania. I don't even think I'm gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit, right? See, wrestling is supposed to be like Jerry Springer show. A fucking female or a dude come out, and then the female or another dude come out, they argue, talk their shit, get into a fight. You know what I'm saying? And they leave. Another one, 10 minutes, they leave. Nowadays, they're just crying and bitching and just talking backstage and not fighting and just down out on fights. Nowadays, nobody's fighting, you know? And it's definitely has to do with society and definitely societies today. Because nobody wants to be accountability for their shit and be adults, you know? See, wrestling is supposed to be about America. It's supposed to. For example, what would happen if an inmate slept with a judge's daughter, right? Wrestling is supposed to aim to answer that question, right? A more interesting question, way more interesting, and more interesting thing to look into, right? Than who to eat the most hot dogs in 3 minutes. That's how popular wrestling is. Nobody wants to see a hot dog challenge. I could give a flying fuck. I'd rather see what happens with the inmate after he slept with the judge's wife. You know what I'm saying? So, you get what I mean? And people talk a lot about presentation. I never really care about presentation. I don't care about what people think about me. I'm not here to look good for the camera. I'm here to talk my shit and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Kane. I didn't consider Kane was American, from Spain, or a human being. I just thought he was a monster and like a devil, like a real monster. Just huge, strong, and a beast, just really scary, creepy looking. I was like, oh shit, look at this motherfucker. Is this nigga even human? You know what I'm saying? I just thought he was Kane. You see, wrestling needs to be presented like that. They need to be presented as guys like, Rock with the probable eyebrow, Undertaker coming from hell with some shit. He's coming back from the dead or some shit. Kane, who's a demon who scares people and burn things. Randy Orton, who kicks people and is like a fucking other demon. You know what I'm saying? John Cena. We got Jeff Hardy. You know what I'm saying? Those are real stars. That's what wrestling is supposed to be. WWE has everything. They have bad guys, good guys, Latinos, Asians, not in a racial way, but wrestling has everything in this world. It has the emotions, and at the same time, not everybody is good or bad. You know what I mean? That's how it's supposed to be. They're not a bunch of jobbers who are, just regular people who are boring, no matter if it's a heel or face. You get what I mean? See, I like to think of myself as a good guy. I don't steal, I don't hurt people, and I lied a couple times to my parents, but that's growing up, you make mistakes. I've had moments where I want to kick ass and get in fights and get in debates and stuff, and I lose my shit. But here's the thing, we have moments, and it's a part of life. For example, like one day, we change our minds and be like, like the fucking, we remember when Rock used to bully Michael Cole and the announcer back in the backstage segment, right? Rock just be on this bullshit, right? And then Triple H would kick his ass, right? Triple H was the bad guy and The Rock was the good guy. The Rock is the face bully, while Triple H is the bad good guy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good people, people try to present themselves as good people. People assume they're good people and they're not. You know what I'm saying? But the bad guys who are, just grumpy and are too real, just those aim to be the realest one guys, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we are in our minds, we're like, what, fuck The Rock. Triple H is good for kicking his ass. He did the right thing. The Rock's a bully. You know what I'm saying? See, we have the emotions. Wrestling allows you to see that. Vince McMahon is doing a good job doing this shit. And this is how fucking genius Vince McMahon is, right? Real talk. Hold on, motherfuckers. Wrestling allows you to see that and portrays the different absence in people, right? Good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Today, they expect us to accept what's going on today. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? They expect us to accept that these fucking jobbers are good stars. They're yesterday's fucking jobbers. You know what I'm saying? They're just boring and whack. They're not like Undertaker, Kane, Stone Cold, Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? They're not like China. None like them. The Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era had everything. You know what I'm saying? Had everything it had to be. You know what I'm saying? Vince McMahon understood the power of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? The genius, the chairman, is being limited by people who probably aren't smart. So like the power of wrestling is being limited by people who are probably aren't smart. Some smart, some people aren't smart. It is what it is. That's how it is. You got these Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff and Dave Meltzer fans really think that wrestling is about the sport or the kayfabe. Well, that's not true. Wrestling is not about that, right? Vince McMahon understood that. Vince McMahon understood about wrestling that I can take these stories that no one else is telling, the stories that are worth telling, and that could be on top. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really sit down and think about some shit nobody can think about that's really interesting. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? Like Vince, he said this. He could take this back. He thought about this, right? He was like, he could back this up, but the physical payoff. That physical payoff is an ass whooping, right? Somebody getting their ass whooping, and then wrestling is in front of a live audience and in front of the TVs. You know what I'm saying? It's our national network TVs like Netflix and all that other shit, even though it's there, but you get what I mean, right? And that changes everything. That's cool shit. That's another reason why I love wrestling, if you get what I'm saying, right? Because most of you fans wouldn't even understand, right? Because people are weird, right? And one day, my goal is to get there. Over 1,000, over 10K. I'm one of those YouTubers who are trying to tell you people, wrestling sucks. Wrestling is not what it's supposed to be, right? It's a bunch of people crying and bitching, right? You know what I'm saying? It will definitely not be Tony Khan or Triple H. They're not going to change wrestling the way it is now. They're not going to change it. You know what I'm saying? But one day it will be somebody. Somebody's going to be stand up and say, what is this? What the fuck am I watching? You know what I'm saying? And how am I coming up with how can I come up with storylines for fun and for people we can never think of? You know what I mean? Like Vince McMahon did type shit. Like, here's the thing. Wrestling sucks. And wrestling needs to get back to the way it was before. And if we don't get there, it's going to be doomed. But nobody talks about it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm disappointed in Triple H. Because he don't know what the fuck he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why wrestling is a big part of my life and why wrestling needs to change. And I will be making more videos for the rest of my life.